Ice fishing is a sport that I can't quite figure out. Why you would leave your home, which is 70 degrees, and walk around the ice and drill holes to try to find a fish about the size of your wallet. Let's talk about what ice fishing costs. If you do, 3 or 4 rods with reels, $200, tip-ups, $100, lures, 30, sled, 60, heater, 50, shelter, $350, clothing, $200, auger, $300, fuel, $25, beer, $45, boots, $110, live bait, $30, and bottle of George Dickel sour mash, $15, which is pretty cheap, screw-on cap, $1,600 and change. It doesn't include the, let's just say, $1,000 trailer, $4,000 wheeler, and about a 10-cent Suburban pinned to it, sitting on the ice that can't support its own weight. So if you had to choose, would you go with the $1,600 fish? That equates to about 303 of these flame grilled fillets with in-garlic butter, already done, ready to cook. Jeez.
That was easy.
And the investment to ice fish for a fish that's so small, and let's say you catch 20 of them, 20 fish on ice that probably can't support the investment that you have parked on it. So if ice fishing is your bag, you've got some other stuff going on in your life that isn't right. Because searching around in sub-zero temperatures for a fish that's glued to the bottom like indoor-outdoor carpet, and you hit him on the beak with a Swedish pimple tacked with a wax worm, if you actually found a fish that wasn't asleep, because most fish this time of year are dormant. As soon as you catch a dormant fish, he expends energy to fight you. Now, it's not a great fight because he's dormant. The minute you pull him to the ice, and if the temperature is below freezing, his eyes glaze over. That's your fish now. It seems to me that if it takes you 2 hours to find a fish, you don't even have time to take a picture of it before it dies. You could perhaps stay home and do a puzzle with your wife and kid. So if you don't fall through the ice, you could always run your family vehicle out there with a wheeler and trailer, which aren't insured. In fact, your vehicle isn't insured unless you have comprehensive. I think these people are waiting for the medevac helicopter because their buddy's frozen solid in the sled. So this caught my eye. It is way in the hell out on this lake. And they obviously drove it out there. Somebody spent a lot of time converting this little pop-up camper into a snow cone machine or some kind of a piss-sickle dispenser. And all for this. A 5-inch sunfish where you need about 50 of them to feed a family of 4. So I realize this might be the only option for your cabin on the lake, but it does look like a homeless encampment. Fishing for fish in the store is a lot cheaper when it's so cold outside that the geese have their head up their ass. So instead of wasting a bunch of money on ice fishing, why don't you play it smart and buy yourself a boat in the spring and pass it off as a family activity, then take them for a scrape they'll never forget. And believe me, once you've given them the ride of their life, you'll be fishing by yourself in peace and quiet. You can be peace and they can be quiet.